What it is, my Tenno, Peace and Grease here. Well, yesterday we got an update that included some Tenogen as well as some, bugs and fixes of the sort. It also included a new Noggle, among some other things, some new cosmetics, as well as ship decorations. But the important part here is it included the Wukong rework. Now, I'm going to say right up from the beginning, right from the off, that I know that Wukong got a lot of flack by a lot of players. But to be completely honest with you, I never really thought that Wukong was horrible. Don't get me wrong, I never thought that he was a great frame. I just kind of thought he was an okay frame. And it didn't really suit my personal playstyle, and I just really didn't enjoy using Wukong. So for that reason, I just never did. But I know that there's a bunch of people out there that enjoyed using Wukong. And I can kind of understand why. Me personally, I wasn't one of them. But with this rework, I can tell you the tables have turned. I actually enjoy using Wukong. In fact, since last night, I've been using Wukong nonstop and really enjoying my time with him. So let's take a look at his rework and decide whether or not Wukong is a frame that you might enjoy using. So the first thing with Wukong is that his first ability has been changed. So you go from that really kind of blah iron jab originally to the Celestial Twin. Now when I first saw this, I started kind of getting fearful because I started thinking Atlas's Rumblers, and Atlas's Rumblers are very dumb, they're very weak. But Celestial Twin is fan-freaking-tastic. It really is. Now, it can be kind of dumb from time to time, don't get me wrong, but it works very well. And it works in such a way that if you use your melee weapon, your twin uses your primary or secondary. If you use your primary or secondary, your twin uses the melee. And it works really well. And you can actually jack them up to just an absolute insane amount of shields and health. So you don't have to worry about them dying. So this is definitely an improvement in my opinion. And I can only hope that DE takes a page from this and applies it to Atlas's Rumblers. I mean, I think this would make it just infinitely better for Atlas's Rumblers if they did something similar with as they did with Celestial Twin. So the second ability is Cloudwalker. Now this existed previously on Wukong already, but now it has this kind of stun daze kind of effect. And of course, obviously, you can use it to recoup health. And yeah, what can you say? It works great. If you get into trouble, boom, jump into Cloudwalker and recoup some of that health. Now I will say that the stun effect, this dazing of enemies, seems very hit or miss. Flip a coin, kind of, is what it seems like to me, because sometimes it seemed to daze enemies and sometimes it didn't. So it's very much hit and miss. But with that said, I don't use it to daze enemies. To hell with that. I use it just simply if I get caught out and I'm taking damage, boom, I jump into Cloudwalker, recoup my health, and then I can jump back out again. So Cloudwalker works great for that. The next is Defy. Now what Defy does is really good. It almost is kind of like one of Nick's abilities where she stores up damage, where and she goes invulnerable, she stores up damage and then kind of releases it. Same kind of principle with Defy, where if you're taking damage, boom, you pop Defy. You save up your damage similar to Harrow's fourth, and you're completely and totally impervious to any damage for that period of time. And then you release that damage dealt to the surrounding enemies with your iron staff, and it works great. And you can use it over and over again. If you're in serious trouble where you use it and you're immediately in trouble again, you can pop it again. So there's no cooldown on it, which is fan-freaking-tastic. Defy will also, after you take a certain amount of damage, will give you armor up to a 1500 cap, equivalent to the damage received during that time, and it releases that damage, and as I said, in that iron staff hit in the area. So it works really well for that. And then finally we have Primal Fury, which is yet another ability that existed on Wukong previously. And it works good. It seems like the damage output's been bumped up, so that's definitely good. So what can you say? It works, and there's nothing else really left to say about that. Now, they did change his passive to an extent where if you take fatal damage, then using one of your survivability skills will automatically go into effect, preventing you from dying. And this will occur 3 times per mission. So yeah, that's really good as well. So what's my verdict on Wukong's rework? It's extremely enjoyable. I have actually used Wukong nonstop since the rework. Literally that much that I enjoy using him at this point. So I'll show you my build, but don't get too hung up on it, because I don't want to sink any Forma into him, because there's potentially down the road in the very near future going to be a Wukong Prime. So I'm kind of waiting to dump my Forma into that. And that's why you'll notice that I've only got like 1 Forma in there, and I've got like 1 empty slot. So I did sacrifice efficiency. I am running a Hunter Adrenaline though. And of course I've got your typical power strength mods, efficiency mods, range, duration, prime vigor, and blind rage to boost my power strength, sacrifice efficiency, and that brings my power strength up to 244% with power drift. And obviously I'm running steel charge to give me the most amount of points possible without having to dump Forma in it. So there you go. That's my build, quote unquote. I'm going to say that word loosely because this isn't really a build in my opinion. It's just kind of throwing in mods that are going to benefit me the most, at least for the time being. But that's pretty much what I'm running. And you know what? It works really, really well. So let's take a look at Wukong here. So basically his first is, I'm going to grab some energy here. His first is his Celestial Twin. And as you can see, my Celestial Twin has 2,440 shields and 3,660 health. Yeah, that is a crap ton. And, if it really matters to you, yeah, your twin will kind of, copy your movements if that really, is that big of a deal to you. There you go. If that really is your thing, go ham. So, as I said, his second ability is his Cloud Walker, and you move extremely quickly with Cloud Walker. Now, so you got to be careful near edges, because you will just blast right off the edge with Cloud Walker. And, of course, his third is Defy, where he racks up, and you can move with his third. And then, of course, his fourth is his staff. So there you go. As I said, if you're using Wukong, if you use the melee, then your twin will use your primary or secondary. If you're using your primary or secondary, your clone will use melee. So, and really your clone isn't, he can still be kind of dumb at times, but it's a vast improvement over, for example, Atlas's Rumblers. So let's call up some enemies here really quickly. We're just going to call up yeah, we'll call up some heavy gunners. These are just level 80. And we'll just call up some of these dudes. There we go. There you go. Yeah. I mean, you know, he works well. He really does work well. So that was for level 80 heavy gunners. What can you say other than that? He works, and he works very well. And as I said, since the patch last night, the update last night, I have been using Wukong nonstop and really, really, really enjoy using him now. I mean, it's a vast difference. It's a night and day difference for me personally. I went from a frame that I didn't really have any interest or enjoy using to a frame that I'm finding it hard to stop using it. So if you're curious and interested in picking up your own Wukong, where do you get him? Well, it's going to be in your clan dojo, specifically in your Tenno lab. Once your clan researches Wukong, you can just simply replicate the blueprints and build them in your foundry. And easy peasy lemon squeezy, you've got your own Wukong. So give him a try and see if he's your type of frame or no. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about the Wukong rework. Until next time, peace and grease.